the top 5 best growth stocks that you need to pay attention to. Now, the first growth stock that you need to have on your watch list is Shopify. Now, Shopify is a e-commerce platform that allows you to set up your shop online. All you have to do is buy the domain, set up your shop, make sure that you pick the right theme, upload your products, set up your payment processing, and before you know it, you can start getting sales after you do the marketing and advertising, of course, of your products. So it's a very easy platform to use. I've also set up a couple of Shopify stores in the past where I would sell anything from fitness equipment or fitness clothes to women's handbags. And most of your sales are going to come from mobile devices. From a growth stock perspective, if you look at the financials, Shopify has been able to grow their revenue year over year in the past 5 years by 50%. That's a great thing because if you look at the stock market average, the stock market on average grows on a good year by 10 to 11%. So seeing a company able to grow 50% on average year over year, that's a growth stock that you need to pay attention to. Number 2 is Netflix. Now, Netflix is the most popular streaming service at the moment because they're doing a great job of not only expanding into different countries, but they also do a great job of keeping their content as diverse as possible. So there's content and even games for any type of viewer. If you like horror movies, if you like documentaries, if you like action movies, if you like crime docs, Netflix has shows for pretty much everybody. From a financial standpoint, Netflix has been able to grow, if you look at the 5-year average and also the 10-year average, they've been able to grow by 25%. And also the reason why Netflix is the market leader in their space and they're able to not only grow their user base, but also retain the users that they have, is because they constantly come out with good shows. Most of the revenue that they generate, they put back into the business by producing content that viewers want to see. Number 3 is Amazon. Now, Amazon is a $1.2 trillion company. During the pandemic, Amazon saw their sales soar, while other retail stores and smaller chains saw either their business go bankrupt or their business slow down tremendously. It's because of Amazon that companies such as Walmart and Target had to speed up their entrance into the online e-commerce world. And Amazon has pretty much set the standard for fast shipping, or in this case, one-day shipping. Most people that I know love buying their products from Amazon, and Amazon is always on the cutting edge with coming out with new ideas and then implementing them as fast as they can. So yes, you can buy your goods on Amazon, but there are also Amazon stores in specific locations that you can go to. Going back to the financials, Amazon generates all of their revenue from 3 sectors: North America, international, and AWS. AWS standing for Amazon Web Services. Small and big companies that don't want to have their technology infrastructure in-house, they have the possibility to outsource it to AWS. Number 4 is Tesla. Now, Tesla is a $700 billion company. If you look at their revenue in the past 5 to 10 years, they've been able to grow their revenue by 33 to 50%, which is astounding. Tesla, widely popular, the best-selling car used to be the Model 3, but doing my research, I've noticed that the Model Y has been picking up steam and is currently the best-selling Tesla car at the moment. Tesla is doing so well with selling their electric cars and then also expanding into different countries. Right now, China is one of the fastest growing markets for Tesla. And even when I went on vacation to Europe, I went to the Netherlands to visit my family. While I was on the highway, I was paying attention to the cars that I saw on the highway, and 1 in 4 to 1 in 5 cars that I saw in Amsterdam were Tesla cars. That's how popular they are in Europe also. Tesla has been operating at a net loss for many years. It wasn't until 2020 that they turned their net loss into a net profit. But the whole thing with these growth companies and these growth stocks is that they focus on growth. They focus on getting their revenue as high as possible because they want to beat out the competition. They will grow even if that means operating at a net loss for many years. All they then need to do is make a couple of tweaks in order to turn their net loss into a net profit. And number 5 is Spotify. Now, Spotify is not as big as the Amazons out there or the Teslas because Spotify is a $16 billion company and it's also operating at a net loss. But Spotify has been making a lot of headway into also growing as fast as possible because They started in the music industry, then they got into podcasting, and now they just added audiobooks. So they have three pillars now, the three-headed monster. Also, with Spotify, they want to dominate the audio space. They want to capture your ear. And Spotify always comes up with new ideas, cutting edge technology, anything that they can do to make it easier for their listeners to enjoy the platform. And Spotify is also good at monetizing the user base that they have. So they have the subscription model, they have ads that are running, but then they also have a retail model which they introduced when they introduced the audiobooks to their platform. Now, why these five companies? Because there also are a lot of smaller companies that nobody has heard of that are seeing record growth. The reason why you want to take a look at these five companies is because they are not only dominant in their space, they're the leaders in their space. They're also seeing record year growth year over year, and they're also not going to go away anytime soon. Most people know about them, most people talk about them, which makes them popular. So your cousin might talk about them, your uncle might talk about buying them. The media is talking about these companies. Not only are they popular now, they're going to be more than likely popular in the future because these companies are always on the cutting edge when it comes to technology within their space, making sure that they come up with creative ways in order to retain their customers. And also, the management team is doing a great job of managing the day-to-day business practices. Also, another thing that you need to pay attention to is that all of these companies that I mentioned are large to mega cap stocks.